Good morning, students of class ninth. In the previous video, we have discussed the story of village Palampur and we have completed that chapter, which is chapter number 1 of your economics book. Now, today we are going to start chapter number 1 of your history book, which tells us about the French Revolution. That what is French Revolution? First of all, we must be very clear that during the French Revolution, or what were the conditions of France during the French Revolution which led to the revolt of the people? Why were the people suppressed, and what was the political or economical condition of the people at that time? Okay, students. So first of all, let us have a look that what happened during the period due to which French Revolution took place. Now let us first of all, before going to the history, let us first of all clarify in our mind that what is a monarchy and what is a democracy. Okay, so there are two types of governments in any country. One is called a monarchy and the other one is called as a democracy. Okay, so now let us understand that what is a monarchy and what is a democracy. See, students, monarchy monarchy is also referred to as a king's rule. Okay, it is also referred to as a king's rule, means that when in the society there is only one king, he rules there, and there is nepotism there, that first of all there will be a king, after him there will be his son, that he will be the king, means son is the king, after the son his son will be the king, and so on. The family tree will go on, and thus will go the rulers. That from one family only the rulers are chosen, and after the death of the king, his son become the king, and after his death, his son will become the king, and so on. The family tree will keep on growing, and they will keep on ruling a country. That is a monarchy. And the other way is democracy. Democracy is a form of government, as we have already discussed in civics topic, that democracy is a form of government in which the government is chosen by the people. Okay, who chooses the government? Chosen by the people. It means that people themselves choose that who their ruler will be. That who their ruler shall be is chosen by the people. Now, when we go back to France at that time, it was ruled by a ruler known as Louis 16th. Okay, he was the ruler at that time, he was the king. During his crown, during his period, the economical conditions of France was very bad. The economical conditions of France were was very bad, and as there was, I said, there was absolute monarchy, means there was a king's rule and there was absolute monarchy in the country. And being a monarchy, he was the person who used to form all the laws. And as we know, in a democracy there are some guidelines which say that there should be right to freedom of expression, everyone is equal before the law. But in a monarchy it cannot be like that, na. In a monarchy, every king prefers himself only. So when a king prefers himself, it led to absolute monarchy. And when a king is choosing that what should be done in the country and what should not be done in the country, and the people's opinion is not considered, then it leads to biasness. What it leads to? Biasedness. Biasness means that in the country there is there is partialization. ओके, देयर इज पार्शलाइजेशन इन विच इन हिंदी दैट वी कॉल्ड एज पक्षपात। मतलब कि देश के अंदर बच्चों पक्षपात होता है कि जो राजा है या फिर जो राजा के लोग हैं उनके लिए एक अलग लॉ है और जो बाकी की जनता है उनके लिए एक अलग लॉ है, राइट। एंड इन द एब्सोल्यूट मोनार्की देयर वाज अ बाइसनेस। सो at that time the French state was basically divided into three classes, or we can say three estates. The uppermost and the topmost class was of clergy, the other was of nobility, and the other were the commoners. Okay, so today we are going to have a brief discussion that what were the clergies, what were the people in nobility, and who were commoners. Okay, so first of all, let us talk about clergy, that who are clergy. See, clergy were the people who were basically holding the churches. They were the elite class, the most upper class in the French society, and they were holding most of the land. And being holding most of the land, they were the most powerful people in that area. And they, as they were the most powerful people in that area, and that was the reason that they were considered to be of higher class. Okay, they used to have all the privileges, they used to have all the privileges, all the land was there, on all means most of the land was theirs only. Okay, around 17% or 20% of the land was concentrated just to the clergies, right. And clergies were the people who were of upper caste, upper class. I will not say caste, I will say the upper class, CLASS class. Okay, they were considered as upper class in the French society. After the clergies were the nobility, right. After the clergies were the nobility. Nobility were also considered as of higher class than the commoners, but they were considered lower than the clergies. Means nobility's ranking was like that. First of all were the clergy, they were the greatest of all classes. Next was nobility, and after nobility was the third section of the society. Who were left over were the commoners. Okay, so clergy, I hope clergy, you have understood that clergy was the most elite, the most upper class of the French society, and being the most elite and the most upper caste of the French society, they enjoyed lots of privileges, and basically clergies were the church. Okay, because in a French society, churches have more power in them. At that time, the French society, in French society, churches were having more power with them. So, church were the basic clergy. Churches were the main thing which were in the clergy. Okay. Next was nobility. Nobility were the basically workers who were doing their job in churches. Okay, they were not the priest, but they belonged to a they belonged to churches, but they were doing they were doing other jobs than of the priest. Okay, they were workers of churches. So they were the nobility who were the workers of the churches. So they were the nobility. They were the second class. They come after clergy, and they were considered superior than than commoners. And there was the third class which was called as the commoners. And yes, one point I'm missing, that the nobility also included the soldiers, right. They also included the soldiers, and clergy were the people of churches, they were the nobility were the workers of churches, and they also included soldiers. And both of these two classes, this class and the clergy and the nobility, were non-taxable. On them no tax was levied by the king. Okay, now there were the third section of the society in that French society, and they were commoners. Commoners were the people who did not belong to the first class or the second class, and they were the people who were most in concentration in the French society, right. means commoners were the people who were left out of the first and second class. The people who were left out of the first and second class were referred to as commoners, and it basically includes businessmen, peasants, farmers, and other people. Okay, it basically includes businessmen and peasants and farmers. Okay, so I hope that from this video, you students might have been having a brief introduction that what were the societies, how were the societies divided in the France, and how Louis XVI was not doing a good job as a king, and due to which the people of that society were harassed, and due to which a revolt took place, and about all the sections of the societies and the classes, and about later how the revolution succeeded and how the revolution started, we will discuss in the later videos. Till then, students, take care of yourself and stay home and stay safe. Thank you.